Hello, I'm William King, and today I'm here to walk through my process for production for my live streams on twitch.tv. And I hope you enjoy all of the hard work I have put into this through audio leveling, video production, audio production, design, as well as a little bit of myself. And I hope that learning how this process works will give you a better understanding of the amount of work it takes to create a well-designed stream. It's not just having a good personality. It's not about just playing popular games. It's also about putting in hard work to your production itself in terms of creating engaging assets that could be used while playing, that amplifies the moment, as well as something that is aesthetically pleasing to the viewer's eye. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So first things first, I want to go ahead and take a look at the audio mixer. This is home of operations for all of my audio that comes through. Now it looks like here there's not too much, but this is only my starting screen. So basically when I go live for a stream, this is the screen I will start off with before transitioning to the stream is starting. Now as you can see, more audio meters in the mixer to keep track of. And basically you've got your normal stuff. You got your headphone and PC outputs for audio. Generally, I use headphones, but I'll also use PC speakers if I, don't want to wear headphones, keep the audio down, stuff of that nature. Then you have your microphone, which on this capture screen is muted, but on the recording is working, as you can tell, as you can hear my voice. So that's going to be, your microphone. You can check how your audio is coming through, where it's peaking on the meter, so you can adjust on the fly if you need to. There's also the headphone mic. So if I'm playing something that requires me to wear my headphones, this is going to be the meter where it comes through. Now you can see you can't really mess with the audio levels. It's because I've locked the volume. Essentially, I've done that for meters that I don't need to adjust. After I went through and added filters and adjusted the decibel levels, I went through and locked them so I can't accidentally click on them. Then right here is my background music. Now you can't hear it now, but essentially this is what plays at the beginning of the stream. Let's see if we can turn that on. Advanced audio properties. We'll go here. So you can see it has monitor off. That means it's only being output to the stream. I can't hear it on my end. But if I change that to monitor and output, you can take a listen. You can hear what's being played on the stream itself. Now I have that off personally, so I don't have to worry about it coming through my headphones and then being put through two times. One through the actual audio output itself, and then coming through the PC speakers. As you can see, it's coming through the actual audio meter itself, but if we turn it on, monitor and output, you can see that it's coming through on the PC speakers as well, which we don't want, because if you do that, it's going to create kind of an echo, and it could cause peaking on the user's end, which is what we don't want. So we turn that off, and then for the things we do want to come through, that we want to hear as well, we put monitor and output. So basically, if somebody follows, subscribes, tips, or cheers bits, this will make sure I can hear it on my end, and the user will hear it on their end. Now, it'll be double timed through the alerts and coming through the headphones, but it's a small thing, and I've set it up to where it doesn't completely blow out somebody's speaker. And just as well, I have audio tracks for recordings, like I'm doing now, so every single one of these I have set up to go out during the stream, so the audio is present. And that's on track 1. Track 2 is specifically for microphones, so track 2 will only have microphone outputs. Track 3 is going to be your background noise, so any game audio, video audio, stuff of that nature will come through channel 3 on a recording, and then track 4 is specifically for alerts and sounds from people following or using a sound alert, something of that nature. So whenever it comes to editing the actual recording, if that's something I need to do, I can isolate every individual track, and I can say if I'm putting up a video of some gameplay and I don't want the follower alerts to be present in the audio, I can remove that audio track or clip that audio track and then have only the game audio going, which is very helpful. So with that, that's essentially how the audio mixers are set up and how they output. Now let's take a look at the filters. Now the filters are very important when it comes to streaming, because I'm using a Yeti microphone, which is a condenser mic. And if I were to just use it from a simple setup, it would blow out your speakers. I've tested it. I've tried it. There's no way it's going to work out the gate. So basically with the filters, I've got everything set up to ensure that audio comes through crisp, it comes through clean, it's at the right level compared to alerts and the game audio. So I have a limiter put on to make sure it doesn't go past a certain decibel, noise suppression to make sure that any background noise doesn't come through. This is only one part of the process. Only having a noise suppressor, it might do a little bit of what you need, but it's not going to get everything taken care of. And the noise suppression isn't going to do everything on its own. So that's why we have the compressor and the noise gate. This is basically to make sure anything that comes through, we can maximize the suppression, but it doesn't obfuscate any audio that we want going out. So these two are to ensure that audio coming through at a certain decibel come through clear and it won't cut out. And then gain maximizes the output in terms of bass and stuff of that nature. So we actually have it at negative, and that's going to be a big help because on the microphone itself, it does have a gain adjusting knob. It has a gain adjusting knob, which still, even at 0, the gain's a little too high. So we use the gain filter to turn it down even slightly more. It helps the audio from becoming static or crackling on the output, and it's a really big help. Now that's the basic setup for my microphone in terms of filters. And you might think that's the only thing you need, but I'll tell you this. I have audio filters on my headphones, which is the output I use mostly for Clone Hero and Guitar Hero and Rock Band, to ensure that we can get the sound that we want on the output for the game. So if we take a look at that, we have a compressor. So essentially what we're using the compressor for on the game is not to limit the audio output. We're using it to ensure ducking for whenever I speak. So essentially if I'm playing a song and I'm not speaking, the audio will come through at the maximum level that I have it set to in terms of the mixer. And essentially what this will do is if I start talking, the audio will duck. It'll dip so that my voice is more prominent during that part. In terms of music games, rhythm games, stuff like Clone Hero, Guitar Hero, Rock Band, having a ducking filter is very important so that you can still play while people can still hear you speak and it doesn't completely overtake the talking audio or the experience. So as I talk, the audio will go down, and then once I am quiet, the audio will go back up to its normal level. And then we have a VST plugin, and this is just an equalizer. This is to ensure that the audio output is mixed. These boards are something of a weak spot for me, so I just use the presets, and it's worked out so far for me. And just as well gain. Because of the compressor, the audio gets knocked down quite a bit, even when it's maxed out on the mixing board. I use gain to up the audio on that just a little bit to ensure that it's still enjoyable for those watching. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at our scenes. Now, this is going to be where the design aspect comes in terms of how I want the layout for the stream to look. And these are things that I've practiced over time. I've been able to utilize After Effects, which we haven't really learned in any of the classes. We've learned most of the Adobe Creative Suite, but After Effects hasn't been something that has been touched on, which oddly enough is probably the most important in terms of creating creative and customizable elements for stream. Now, this layout that I have, I did buy. I tried making my own elements, but I wasn't experienced at the time, so I went ahead and purchased something that was pre-made. I bought the package that came with the source files for After Effects, so I've been able to customize them. If we jump into just chatting, which is the screen I use whenever I'm just talking to the audience and we're just chatting, talking about stuff and whatnot, this is where my webcam would be. This is where people will see me. It has my social medias right here. And then these are my goals essentially during streams. And then over here we have our event tracker. This shows events that happen during the streams. And somebody cheers bits, follows, subscribes, all of that nature. And this here is the chat box where if people are chatting during the stream, their words will show up here, stuff of that nature. Now, this layout was originally, the screen was much smaller and right here, and it said just chatting up here. So I went into After Effects and I was able to stretch the screen and make it the size that I wanted, move it around to customize a little bit. This is going to be one of the main screens that I use. So this is my setup for when I play Clone Hero, specifically if I'm doing requests for a day. We have our webcam up here with my name showcased underneath, so when people come into my stream, they can say, who is this guy? Well, it's the Kingsy. So, and then we have our same elements, social media panel for for easy promotions while I'm playing, so I don't have to take a break and focus on promoting that. Chat box, our goals, events, and then this is where the game would show up right here. And then these are the rules that I've used in terms of trying to maximize people's options in terms of requests, because sometimes people don't want to wait, or some people have questions about how the request works. And then the same thing, I was able to go into After Effects and basically redesign this screen as well as this. So this one is the same screen, but the game monitor is set to 4:3 instead of 16:9 for older games. So like PS1 games, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, stuff like that. And then outside of that, specifically for Clone Hero, the game that I stream the most, I've created some animations. Basically took some time in Photoshop to learn how to create, render assets in 3D, and then how to animate them. And I was able to create something for whenever I get an FC, which is, FC stands for full combo, where if you hit every note in a song without missing a note or overstrumming, that qualifies as a full combo. So I decided to make something that celebrates that. Full combo. So as you can see, I created this asset on my own. That's one I used Photoshop for. The audio, I found royalty-free trumpet sounds, and I used that for like celebration, as well as the royalty-free confetti vector graphic that pops up. And then the audio I created myself in Audition, utilizing filters, really getting creative with it to make something fun. And that rolls over into -1. So this is the asset that I use if I miss one note. And sometimes more than others if I think it would be funny or add some kind of value to the moment. -1. Nice joke. So that's one. I use the same method. I created the graphic asset in Photoshop using the render 3D effect, as well as finding royalty-free horn sounds again, and then creating the voiceover in Audition. Nope is the same thing. This is when a song comes up that I don't want to play, or I had an attempt that did not go well. And it's the same thing. I created the asset in Photoshop, rendering the text in 3D, and then recording and editing the audio in Audition. No, hell no! And it makes for a funny moment, especially for those watching. And then the last one is very simple. I didn't create anything using Photoshop or any of the Adobe Creative Suite, but it is something that I found to be funny. It started as an inside joke on the stream, and then we just ran with it. So Praise Be is the orange button, which will just start a random song, any song at random. And we created something where we say, praise be to the orange button. And I found some royalty-free audio of a Gregorian chant, and I used the in-suite filters for OBS Studio to turn the screen red. Now, I won't be able to show it on here due to multiple sessions of OBS running. It might give you an idea. So here we go. So as you can see, it'll fade out from the previous scene into a shade of red to a purely red image, and then it will fade into the next scene, the Praise Be scene, where the image is very... So if we go into the filters and take a look, all there is color correction. So I played around, did color add, and messed with the gamma, contrast, brightness, saturation, hue shift, left opacity all the way maxed out, and it creates this really cool effect. And then outside of that, it's really just more of the same. A lot of these are rehashes of the same scenes, where if basically I need to take a break, I bring this up, it says be right back. Nothing too crazy about it. And then we have audio playing during this, which we can take a listen to right here. So I try to have audio playing on the majority of my scenes, or not on the minority of scenes. So essentially starting just chatting, which plays in the background, very low compared to my microphone output. And then whenever the stream is over, I have it playing this. Now, all of this audio is royalty-free. I found them in bundles of royalty-free music that you can use that some websites have. Usually sell games and game bundles, programming bundles, and audio bundles. I took advantage and bought a pretty good deal. That's essentially all of the production that I've put into the stream itself, and it's been a lot of hard work. Originally used a different studio previously to this, and whenever I transferred everything over to set up new alerts and effects and stuff of that nature, it took me about 12 hours. So setting something up like this for the best possible quality that you can get is very difficult. It is not easy, and that's why I wanted to showcase it. Something like this took a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, and utilized a lot of skills that I otherwise would not have if I hadn't chose to enroll at Full Sail and follow the path that I chose to. And I'm really glad that I did, and I am very excited to continue this in terms of falling more into design, production, and stuff of that nature. So I hope you enjoyed my walkthrough. All I can say is just do what you love, put in the work, and it'll come back to you in no time. And that was it. As you can see, a lot of hard work has gone into this production over a long period of time. And I hope it gives you a better understanding of how much work you really have to put into the design aspect and output for audio and video and visuals and stuff of that nature. So, thank you for watching. I've been William King, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.